Hey there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. It's hot, and I've got giant lights staring me in the face, so you can see my pleasing, handsome mug. Oh, so handsome. I didn't shave. Alright. Today I'm watching Dorohedoro? Yeah, I'm sure I pronounced that right. I mean, that's like trying to get me to pronounce Yuri Yuri correctly. Ugh. Darn Japanese phonics that I can't wrap my English tongue around! Oh well. So the show description says, Amnesiac Cayman seeks to undo his lizard head curse by killing the sorcerer responsible with his friend Nikaido's help. In the hole, that's a threat. So, killing a sorcerer is a threat. That tracks. But only in the hole. Killing a sorcerer anywhere else, not a threat so much. But in the hole, boy howdy. That sure is threatening. Alright, so I know nothing about this show other than there's a guy with a lizard head in it. I did not read the manga. I'm assuming there's a manga to read. Because there always is. Very rare that you get a original anime. It's like, oh, we just made this up for not that they don't exist. Yes, they do. I could name a few. But not off the top of my head. That's how ubiquitous manga adaptations are. So I've heard of this show. All the news sites are talking about it, man. All the sites that traffic in little articles like, the hottest new anime to watch this season. This is on all of those lists. So it must be good. Well, we'll see about that. So I was watching this episode and I thought to myself, Evangelion is an original anime, not based on a manga. So is Cowboy Bebop. And FLCL. I actually have that one. So, there are some. And I actually looked up on the internet before I started the recording just to make sure I was right. And yeah, I'm right. Those three are original anime. And this one, Dorohedoro, is not. It is based on a manga series that's been running since the early 2000s. So, this is 12 episodes this season. I don't know if it'll continue, but if it does, this one could last a while. So, what to say about this? So the whole is a city, and it's a little run down. You know, there's the infrastructure's kind of crumbling. There's trash on the street. Everyone seems to be kind of poor. It's kind of a gross, filthy place. But it's home. The sorcerers, one of whom turned Cayman into a lizard head person, they all live not in the hole, but they go to the hole to practice their sorcery on the residents of the hole, and end up turning them into, lizard-headed people, or fish-headed people, or bug people. So the show sets up that sorcerers are jerks who just use the people who live in this rundown city as guinea pigs for their magical experiments. so that they can learn magic better. That doesn't endear them to us. On purpose. So we don't feel bad when our heroes kill them. So, Lizard Head Boy wants to find the sorcerer who turned him into Lizard Head Boy, so he's Human Head Boy again. So his solution is to grab every wizard he can find and shove that wizard's head in his mouth, because there's a person who lives in the back of his throat. And he thinks, you know what? The person living in the back of my throat might recognize the sorcerer that turned me into Lizard Head Boy. I mean, it's a working theory. What else are you gonna do? So the show opens with Cayman, Lizard Head Boy, and Nikaido, his friend who runs a diner and feeds him without asking for payment. So he just uses her. That's a healthy relationship. She doesn't seem to mind, though. So at least there's that. So she kicks the crap out of one while Lizard Head Boy has the head of another in his mouth, and the guy in the back of his throat says, nope, not that one. So he pulls him out and he says, hey, what'd the guy in my throat say? He goes, that I'm not the one? He goes, oh. And he takes out a knife and slices him into little pieces. So he's dead now. And the other one escapes into the sorcerer's realm. And they go, darn, we didn't find the sorcerer. And they go about their day. So, Nikaido runs across another sorcerer who looks like a sorcerer, because, at least based on this first episode, all of the sorcerers wear stupid masks, except the one who wears a pretty badass skull mask. But we'll get to her in a minute. But, so, as far as I could tell, at least by the first episode, everyone in the hole is either monster face because some sorcerer screwed with them, or human face. All the sorcerers have a stupid mask. So she sees a dude with a stupid mask and she's like, hey, a patron. And then she insults sorcerers in front. She's like, oh man, I saw this victim of sorcery and I have never seen such incompetent magic in my life. Well, of course, the sorcerer that she's telling this is the sorcerer who incompetently turned the guy into a half bug. So he got angry, so he turns her into a bug. Maybe it's early in the season, but that seemed pretty dumb to me. I mean, the setup appears to be mask equals sorcerer. No mask or monster face equals resident of the hole. So at this point, I am confused as to how she could look at this twerp and not realize immediately that he's a sorcerer. Oh well. So Lizard Head Boy comes in and goes, you got turned into a bug. So he jams the guy's head in his throat and then kills the guy. And killing sorcerers undoes all the magic, so all the people he turned into bugs are now fine, and so is Nikaido. So any damage the sorcerers do is undone by killing them, and it's established in this episode that Lizard Head Boy is immune to magic. So that's some pretty low damn stakes so far. I mean, granted, he has to find the sorcerer who changed him into Lizard Head Boy and kill him, or her, and then he would revert back to Human Head Boy. Okay, not an easy task, but he's immune to magic, and if you kill us, if Nikaido, who's an excellent fighter, happens to get hit by magic, all you got to do is kill the sorcerer whom you're immune to, and she'll be fine. So Bye, tension! Bye! Bye, tension! Bye. Again, only first episode. Who knows what twists will present themselves in subsequent episodes. So they come across another sorcerer, who they immediately recognize as a sorcerer because she's wearing a damn mask, which seems to be the identification of... Anyway, so they grab her, and they cut off her fingers, because that's how they cast spells, you know, woody, woody, woody. And they rip off the mask, and she's a little girl. But that doesn't matter to... I mean, you could tell she was this tall in the first place. Looked like a kid. Don't know what that matters. Maybe it's rude to mess with... Maybe not all sorcerers are bad. Like, maybe she just took a wrong turn and ended up in the hole, just wanted to go home, and didn't really need someone cutting her fingers off and then jamming her face into a lizard's mouth. So he jams her face into a lizard mouth because, I mean, she's there. Who knows? Maybe she's the one who turned him into Lizard Head Boy. But a magic door out of the hole opens, and a sorcerer reaches through and grabs her and yanks the skull girl who got her fingers cut off back through the door and rips off her face because her face was firmly embedded in Lizard Head Boy's mouth. Ow. So not only did the little girl get her fingers cut off, but she got her face ripped off, so sucks to be her. I find it a little difficult to believe that the sorcerer was strong enough to actually yank her straight out of Lizardhead Boy's mouth and his grasp, considering how damn large he is. I guess he's a very strong sorcerer. Well, I like the premise. It's interesting. Some of the designs are fun. It's got some decent action and some fun gore. Unfortunately, for me, the characters are all just completely flat. I'm sure it's totally possible that they are further developed in subsequent episodes and are nice rounded characters, but as far as the first episode goes, not very compelling to me. Cayman, Lizardhead Boy, is one note. He grabs sorcerers and he jams them in his throat, and he eats Nikaido's food. He's hungry all the time. And he wants to find the person who turned him into Lizardhead Boy. That's it. There's nothing else to him. So far. Nikaido is... She runs a diner. And she helps Lizardhead Boy. I don't know why. And she feeds him. More than his fair share. For free. All the time. I don't know why. I'm sure all of that will be explained in future episodes. So, I didn't dislike it, but I honestly didn't find this first episode compelling enough to bother tuning into the second episode. So, if you're a fan of this show, let me know why in the comments, and maybe you'll pique my interest, and I'll go, oh, really? Oh. Maybe I'll stick around for a few more episodes and see.